What's going on, everybody? John Stamper. We are here live. It is Spear Summit 2025, and it's been an awesome week.
Yes.
Tons of great people at this summit, and I have a very special guest. So this is not live, although we're going to put it out. But for those of you that watch this, hopefully during Spear Summit, you have seen some of the live coverage from this woman right here, the Daily Dentist, during Spear event. I am with Dr. Arnelle Wright. How's it going?
I'm having such a blast. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Well, this is awesome. Like, I've been watching all of your content kind of like on breaks and all of that.
Yeah.
What's it been like to kind of be here? Because I do want to let it, like we said, Daily Dentist. She is a practicing dentist.
Yes.
But she also is doing a lot of stuff on social media. So how's it been?
It has been so phenomenal seeing all of the colleagues, seeing everybody taking their practices to the next level. The energy is high, the vibration is high. I just really enjoy being in this environment. And so it's really encouraging to me because this is my first summit. I'm familiar with Spear. I've done some courses and curriculum online, but I've never attended an event quite like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny story, everybody. So we were sitting here kind of getting ready for this, and Arnelle was standing over there, and a doctor came up, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, my wife is watching your stuff. I love it." What is it like for you? I always say this, Arnelle, where it's like you're a dentist. That's hard enough as it is. But what was it that made you decision to get out and do what you're doing? You know, you've got the podcast and a lot of this stuff. Like, what was that trigger point that said, you know what, I want to do that too?
Yeah, you know what's so funny? So I started my Instagram account my first day or first week of dental school. And I really just wanted to show people that I was in dental school because it took me a while to get into dental school. I'm a very non-traditional dentist, so I had a very, road less traveled, if you will. And so it's evolved over the years. I've been able to test and tweak things, and what actually happened was I started posting some content, being in practice, and the ADA, unbeknownst to me, or the marketing team from the ADA, they were watching some of my content, and they had been watching for a while. And so they reached out and they were like, "You've been extremely consistent. Like, your message has been the same, like, branding, being safe, and all of those things." And so just showing up confident online. I talk a lot about mentorship. And so just making sure that I share my story. And so once I realized that people really appreciate a story, I just have continued to take it and run with it. And I change some things. I go back and forth. And then, just encouraging people to do the same thing. Like, it just, I don't know, it kind of just gives me joy.
Yeah. And I think a lot of dentists probably live vicariously through you. They're like the introverted ones. Well, hear me out. You know this, right? A lot of dentists are introverted, right? So they're watching, they're kind of loving that or what have you. And I'm sure they're going, man, I wish I could do that. But in all seriousness. So let's talk a little bit about Spear and, like you mentioned, this is your first summit.
Yes.
You also are excited about some future things you're going to do here with some of your kind of news. So I don't know if you can talk about that now or what have you. Okay, let's do it.
Okay. So I'm actually in a really transitional period of my career. I'm going to be transitioning out of being an associate and then taking on the role of a practice owner. And so that's really important to me because it's more of a legacy move. I really feel that I get to push the profession forward. I get to leave something for my children, my family. And it just so happened that, Summit is happening right around the time that all that's taking place in my life and in my career. And so in addition to, being on the scenes and interacting with all of my colleagues and all of the attendees, I'm also taking in tidbits, honestly, for myself, because I know that, an elevation is about to happen or a transition. And so I'm going to have to, bring my team aboard, and there's no other place, honestly, that I would rather be and rather take that journey other than with Spear. As I think we talked about this earlier, I started my relationship with Spear in 2021 with taking a seminar on treatment planning here in town. But it was a mentor who introduced me to Spear back in 2019. She was like, "Hey, you need to be at this event that's going to be happening. It's in our backyard. You need to be there." And so ever since then, I just love the excellence in which they treat their customers. I started my career not in dentistry, but I've had a few jobs, and customer service was always that thing that lit me up. And so I feel like I've taken some of those same skills into the practice with me. And so experiencing campus and experiencing Spear, it just reminded me that, I'm not far off. This is actually we're in the business of people, and when you take care of them, give them a 5-star experience, they will say yes to you. They will come back to you. They'll tell their friends and their family about you, their coworkers. And so I don't know, I can go on and on and on, but I'm just really enjoying it. And I know that it's going to be good for me and the practice.
That's exciting. I only have one concern because here's
Yeah.
what's going to happen. You're going to maybe come to Summit next year. You're going to go to like a workshop.
Yeah.
And in the middle of it, they're going to want to have you get up and actually do a live.
No,
You're gonna
no,
be like,
no,
listen,
no.
I'm here to learn about treatment planning and occlusion, and they're gonna make you get the microphone.
You know,
And then
there's place
Alex
for
is
that.
going to be there,
Do you
right? I mean,
I
let's
hope
give,
so.
give a big shout out to Alex, who's been kind of helping you
Shout
create
out
all
to
your
Three
content.
Tier.
Yeah,
Yes.
love
Like
it, love
honestly,
it.
I have people that I can call on, and I recently, like, I tap Alex all the time. And so I was like, this is something that's right here. I'm like, can we please do this? And, you know, fortunately he was available and he said yes. So shout out to Three Tier Visuals, excuse me, for saying yes to doing this with me. I try to make it really easy on everybody that I work with, you know, by being prepared and, you know, being enthused about what I do. So I don't know, hopefully that speaks volumes.
So what are you most excited about? I mean, a huge transition for you, but when you look out the next couple of years of dentistry, I know that one of the things that you get to do kind of in this fun role at these events is talk to the dental companies.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about technology and, you know, from a you know, practicing dentist perspective of how you think technology is really going to change how you're going to practice in your office.
Oh, I think it's going to be critical because I want to make sure that I am at the forefront of all of these things because, you know, when you make recommendations to patients, you want to be able to show and prove, right? So there's nothing really that differentiates dentists from one another other than those that can show and prove, that can communicate, those that are empathetic, compassionate, all of those things. But when you have like the, you know, recent technological advances in your practice, patients tend to buy in even more. That means that you are learned, that you are, you know, continuing to do research and stay at the forefront. And so I really feel like it's going to take my practice to the next level because I'll be able to do more, identify more, and ultimately by doing those, the more I'm helping my patients with their oral health. And that's really important to me. And it's also important to me that, you know, in a small dental community to be amongst those people that are learned and are continuing to thrive and not just, you know, sticking with the same thing that we learned, you know, years ago. So I really think that it's going to really add value to both me, my team, and my patients.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I was just spending some time with Dr. Matrani, and there's this common theme, Arnelle, where, you know, the pendulum swings when it comes to different industries. I think with these technologies, there's always fear.
Yeah.
But what I'm hearing is that you as clinicians are seeing this as a way to be able to be more human with your patients. It's going to allow you to spend more time, which I think is super encouraging.
Yeah, and I think the patients really appreciate it too. So I'm really excited to like just start this new chapter, take my patients on a journey with me, and really raise up my team and show them how they can grow and expand in their individual roles in the practice too, because it's not only about the clinician, like the team. I couldn't do any of what I do without a strong team. And so I'm really looking forward to that part because I just have a heart for people who have like skill and like talent that's untapped. And if I can identify it and like help them to see like the bigger picture and want to do and grow further and do more, I just really hope that, you know, it kind of catches like wildfire.
So fun question. Have you always liked to be on camera?
Oh,
since you were younger, or
you know what? So
did you grow into it?
I think I grew into it, but I've always thought that if I weren't a dentist, I always say that I would have had a career in entertainment.
Okay.
So I used to play drums growing up in the church. I know, strange.
Love it.
I used to play drums growing up. In fact, in college, I was in a pageant, and that was my talent. I played the drums in front of all my like college friends, which is strange. And I sing, and so I just do all kinds of things, like, you know, that other side of my brain that I put to work. But when I started recording videos online, I started realizing, okay, this is not like a foreign concept to me. This is like something that I just kind of show up and do. And so I think I've grown to love it even more. It doesn't even really bother me that much, other than in times when I'm like, okay, so wait, you want me to say what? And then like, if I'm like, have to be like super scripted, then I'm just like, ooh, you know what I mean?
I feel you.
So I'm like, if I can just flow and do kind of like what we're doing right here, it's no problem whatsoever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Like I said, it's been fun to watch. Excited to see kind of where your journey goes.
Thank you.
And for those of you that are watching, The Daily Dentist, so go follow her. I got to ask you, how'd you come up with the name?
Oh, you know what? I have to give credit to my wonderful husband. He is
Okay.
my biggest cheerleader. He hears all of my crazy ideas in the wee hours of the night, like when, when all of the creative juices are flowing. And I told him, I was like, I want to come up with pretty much like a stage name for dentistry.
Yeah.
And so we were talking, and he's like, "What about the Daily Dentist?" And I was just like, "You
Yeah, it
stop."
wasn't claimed. You were able to get it.
Right.
There's no worse feeling when you go to Instagram, you go type in a really
know,
cool
you're
name,
like,
and then it
"Dang
says
it."
username,
Yeah,
taken.
I know. Or like somebody.
But it wasn't taken.
No, it wasn't
Love
taken.
it.
But this was like, 13 years ago. And so people are just learning about me now. But yeah, I've kind of just been sowing and planting seeds for a very long time. And I think that you all are just now seeing a harvest.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
congrats again.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the summit. Be sure to go
I
check
will.
out all her great work, and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much,
All right,
John.
you
I'm
got
so
it.
glad.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.